All right, so I got it back up. I'm uploading the other video right now for you guys. Try to get back on track where I was. So anyway, here's some of the indicators that I use. Once you get a chart set up and you like the way it looks, you can actually save this style, so you can switch in between styles. So you can go to Style right here, and you can hit Save Style. And you want to include your patterns and studies. Otherwise, these moving averages and the MACD, the RSI, all that stuff will be gone if you do not save it. So we're just going to save it. Yes, to overwrite my previous one. Okay, so this is how I look at the longer term, the longer term picture with the 30-minute chart. I like to trade on the 30-minute chart. Let's see, what's another one that we was in? Oxy. I just like the 30-minute chart, the way it moves, and the way you can see, when it pulls back to these moving averages and bounces, and then you get these gap ups that look real nice, followed by volume. Anyway, so this is how I got my chart. All right, so as far as the way TradeShark has his setup, his moving averages, I don't think he uses the MACD. I think he uses stochastics and the RSI. So I'm going to go through and show you the way he's got his set up on the moving averages. So I'm going to take off all this stuff down here at the bottom so the chart just looks cleaner. Get rid of these simple moving averages, and we are going to look for the moving exponential average, or you can just type EXP for exponential, and it's moving average exponential. This is the one you want. Add 2 of them in there. He does the 8 and the 3, I believe. Make my 3 yellow, so I know that the 3 is the yellow. All right, so this is how he has his set up. It's not really effective for the 30-minute time frame that I look at, but it's pretty effective. It's pretty effective on your intraday charts, your 5-minute, your 15-minute chart. Right here didn't look that good because it just stayed. The 3 just stayed above the 8 all day long. I mean, it was just going. I think he looks at the daily chart a lot for these when he's getting into plays. When they're crossing over. Oxy's really not a good one to look at. Let's pull up something else like Facebook. And that's the great thing about backtesting. And when I say backtesting, what I mean is looking back at history and seeing what happens when these cross over. Like you can see it crosses over here, but then it comes right back up. And eventually it has a good crossover. So it's important to wait for your confirmation. I mean, crossed over here, but it did not confirm the next day. Crossed over here, confirmed the next day, and there's your sell-off. And then, it just continues to sell off until we get a crossover right here and then gaps up. And yeah, you would have been down if you'd have gotten in right here. You'd have been down, but look, it pops right back up. And moving averages never cross. And this is a strategy that TradeShark uses, and it's extremely effective. Anyway, so that's the way he's got his moving averages set up. All right, let's see what else was. Oh, Fibonacci retracements. So I'm going to take off. I'm just going to clean the chart up and take these off right here. And we're going to look at SPY for the fib retracements. Okay, so your Fibonacci retracements are going to be up under drawings. You're going to go to drawing tools, and you're looking for the little percentage, Fibonacci retracements. And I'm not an expert on this, so if I'm wrong, TradeShark or Derek or Phrase, any technical analysis gurus, if I'm wrong, just let me know. So anyway, you start from the high point, you go from the low point, and it plots you can see right here. Here's resistance, comes back down, bounces on support, resistance, support, finally breaks through, and then look, right here again, resistance, broke through. So could SPY pull back? Yeah, I could definitely pull back to 313 and then bounce and head up to all-time highs. Now, this isn't accurate on the dot. The way you can do that is you can right-click on the Fibonacci right here, and you can go to Edit Properties. So we want it to be extremely accurate. So we're going to put, oh, looky there, it is extremely accurate on that Okay, well, I got it right on the money on that one. So we're going to close this. We're going to look what the low was, 218.26. Edit properties. Let's see what it said, 218.26. Okay, so now you can go into, let's say, your 5-day 15 minutes. So, I mean, look at that right there. I mean, tell me that's not accurate. That is extremely accurate with Fibonacci's for sure. And I haven't used this a lot. I really haven't looked into this. Let's look back. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. Yeah, I mean, it comes up and comes back down. You know, it got pushed back down off this Fibonacci, comes back down, bounces right on it, comes back up, once again gets knocked down, comes down and drops all the way below it, but never closed. I don't think it ever closed. No, it opened up way below it and then climbed back above it. And then there was the gap up, which now becomes support on this Fibonacci retracement. And it touches it several times before it gaps up and then starts its breakout towards the next Fibonacci level. And there it is. Comes right off of it, bounces down, and then gaps up on Friday morning. So definitely could see a pullback down to this area, or like this gap, it could go sideways on Monday right here, and then gap up again, and get ready to test the the all-time highs. So anyway, so this is a quick Fibonacci. That's my basic understanding of Fibonacci retracements. That's on the long-term, um, very top to very bottom. This is probably a really good way to use this. You can use it in, let's see, let's look at BA here. I'm trying to look for a shorter term option that, wow, this one's got a lot of room to run. So you don't have to just use it on the day time frame. If you have a short term, you're trading contracts for just a couple of days or whatever, you could probably change the time frame. Again, remember that you can go in and customize this list, so you don't just have to stick to 5-day 5-minute or 5-day 15-minute. Let's say you want to back test the 15-minute strategy. You can add a time frame in your intraday right here, and let's say you want to back test, you want to look 90 days back on that 15-minute time frame. You can add that in there. Hit OK. Go ahead and change that. And now you can go back and look at what it's done over the last 90 days. Now, of course, I've taken my moving averages off here, but this is just another way that you can go and back test different strategies and understand how they work. So what else? If you want to have multiple grids, you can go up here to the this little box right here, and it shows different grids. Like you can have so many different grids in here, or charts in here. It's ridiculous. This is for people that got multiple monitors. ThinkorSwim does a really good job of moving this over multiple monitors. But let's just say you wanted a quad deal. So we're going to put in SPY here. And as you can see, here's our default chart, which we don't want. But remember, we saved that style. We're going to load that style, and there it is. Then we can change this to, let's say, the 5-minute chart. Or if you really want to dial in on the 1-minute chart, you got the 1-minute chart here. So that's one way to see multiple charts on here. Another way is you can hit this flexible grid. So say you want your daily down at the bottom down here, so you can kind of see what it does. We can get rid of this and this, so it looks a little bit better, looks cleaner. I'm also going to now this would be an example of where I would overlap volume, because I just want to kind of see what the chart's doing over the daily. So we can move this down, and you can, so see these little this little linkage here, you can link these. So let's say you have your 5-minute chart on here, you're trading on your 5-minute chart here, you got a 15-minute over here, and your daily down here. So if you change one of these, let's say BA, all the charts are going to change. It links them all. And what's really cool about this is if you're on your mobile platform on your phone and you click the little link button on your phone, anytime you change it on your phone, it's going to change it on your computer too if you're logged into both. If you have two computers up and you're logged into ThinkorSwim on both computers and your phone and an iPad, it's going to change on all platforms. It's ThinkorSwim is an amazing platform. So this is another way that you can do this. Here's another little trick. All right, so say you want to make this window big, but you don't want to go over here or click on charts. Click off of this, click over here just to get it big. So let's go back to the flexible grid. If you want to make it big, you can find an empty space up here, like where you're hovering at. Like right here's an empty space. You can double click, and there's your chart. Blows it up. It's nice and big where you can zoom in. Pan up the, if you want to make the candles really small like Trade Shark, you can drop it down like this and make it look like that. Or you can, there's so many things you can do. You can change your, your time frame so you can really zoom in. Now, if you want to move the chart around, you can't do that with this pen. Go up to your draw set and choose the little pan tool right here. And then you can move this up, you can move it down, scale out your time frames. There's so many different ways you can move this around. All right, so I think that's it. If you guys have other stuff that you want me to look at or go over, let me know. It don't take long to do these videos. The longest part of it is really just processing it, rendering it, and uploading it. So if you guys want to see more, just let me know. There's going to be a channel in the FinTrade Pros server for these videos. So you guys just let me know what you want to see, and I will do the best I can when I'm not at work to accommodate that. All right, you guys have a good night.